Welcome everybody to another episode of What Kind of Black Nerdcast Is This? We are the Black Nerds, and we're glad to have you with us today. I am one of your hosts, Kayos. With me today is JayTezla. JayTezla, how are you?
What up?
And the lady holding it down so far for the podcast, the Lou, Big Lou. Lucia, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Gucci, man.
Me
Gucci.
too.
We can tell. Like the hair. So today we have three of us so far. We're expecting Black Girl Marvel to jump in and invade the stream at any time, and Zero is on another mission at a undisclosed location. He's getting his Dick Cheney on. All right,
The water
so we got
collecting
some
is real
news
for
you
him.
today. Oh man. First of all, if you're watching this on our YouTube, make sure you hit the like button, leave a comment and let us know what you think of some of the topics we're going through, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notified of when we drop new videos. If you listen to this in podcast form, make sure you give us a review and share us out. We appreciate it. This is a grassroots movement. All right, so today we got some news. So first, probably take it with the probably the biggest thing that's happened so far today, which would be the trailer for Godzilla versus King Kong. Did you guys get a chance to take a look at the trailer?
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
So, Lucia, what did you think of it?
I would actually like to hear what Tez has to say first.
I was trying to pace him because I know he's having a nerd.
But you got to come back to me, so you know.
So Tesla, what are your initial thoughts on the? And I think that actually, no, I'm sorry. I think the proper title is Godzilla versus Kong. I don't think they've given him the King title yet. So Godzilla versus Kong trailer.
They gave him a fucking axe. They gave King Kong an axe. I just be getting there. Like, how did he make said axe? Where did said axe come from? I have more questions than I do answers regarding this trailer. Someone did point this out to me. I was watching a reaction of it. The villain is shown in the trailer, which kind of ticked me off.
Yeah, which part is that? I heard somebody say Megalodon.
It's
not
actually
Mechagodzilla.
Mechagodzilla in the beginning seconds when that area blows up. The part of the scene where the woman is running down the stairs, if you look right behind her, there's a neck going up with red lines in it, and it's silver. So the belief, my belief, and based on the theory one of my homies had, is that they created a Mechagodzilla that can appear anywhere, and they're using King Ghidorah's blood to do it as a way to control it.
Yeah, because I mean, from what they did show, it should show that I mean, there's got to be some conflict for having Kong and Godzilla versus each other, and so far from what we've seen in this monsters kaiju series, is Godzilla is a protector. He was a protector in Godzilla in 2014, and he was a protector in Kong, King of the Monsters. So Godzilla, King of the Monsters. So it's going to be interesting to see how they initiate the conflict between them. Lou, what were some of your initial thoughts?
Well, I was actually confused about this, to be honest with you, because I'm not really a Godzilla fan. And there's like a whole bunch of Godzilla movies. And it's like none of them are like the next one. You know what I mean? And so
yeah,
they're
not like the MCU. Like, they don't have continuity.
Right. And so like I was like, okay, which Godzilla is this?
Like, this series starts back it was in 2014. It's just called Godzilla. It actually, ironically, to go on a mini nerd topic, it has Aaron Taylor Johnson, who played Quicksilver in Age of Ultron, and it has Elizabeth Olsen, Scarlet Witch, WandaVision. They play husband and wife in this, and they shot this movie before they shot Age of Ultron. So their first time playing together on screen was husband and wife. Their next jobs, they went playing brother and sister, which is just weird.
Oh yeah, it was mad
Yeah.
confusing. I'm like, that's a weird flip.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was weird. And the thing is, not to really go too much, but I didn't like the movie that much. I saw opening weekend. I took my mom. My mom loves the '98 Godzilla film with Matthew Broderick. That's her jam. Like, I think I caught her watching
Even
that
with the
earlier
Diddy
this week.
song in there that made no sense.
She was all, and the thing is, when I was a kid, I didn't know any better. I had the toys and shit. It's actually ironic too, because that Godzilla toy that came out was the main toy my Megazord was fighting, because they never sold the villains for Power Ranger toys. So
That's
my Megazord
true.
never had nothing to. My Megazord never had nothing to fucking do. It never had nobody to fucking fight because there's no toys as big as that. So that Godzilla got his ass whooped a lot in my house.
My only issue with that movie is, and I've never been to New York, but I know New York's kind of congested. There's no way this monster can just hide around the corner like he's Batman. Like, that's not how monsters work.
That's what got me as I got older, and I'm like, Godzilla is too damn big to be hiding.
And too damn slow.
I'm like that, like literally putting Godzilla in New York would be like putting Spider-Man in the desert. Like, you're taking away something. Like, you can't let him be the character he is. Like, I get Godzilla has to knock buildings over and shit, but I'm like, you could have picked like Chicago or something else. Like, New York, it's too packed. I mean, it's just the buildings on top of buildings. But this series, to go back to this series, started in 2014 with Godzilla. Then it was Kong Skull Island, and then Godzilla King of the Monsters, and then now we're leading up to this one. I actually watched
That's
a couple
the one
minutes.
that's the one with 11 in it, right? Because she's in this one. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And she's actually in this.
So
And
I've seen 2 of those 3 movies.
Okay. From what I understand, yeah. So you should be good, because it is one narrative story, even though they've had different directors and it's been a little rocky. But this is more of a direct sequel to Godzilla King of the Monsters, because Millie Bobby Brown is in it and Kyle Chandler is in it, the 2 main female protagonists from that film. I'm on the fence about that, because theirs was the worst part of that film for me. I know you can't have the monsters fighting for 120 minutes, but that family drama, daytime soap opera, all my children bullshit, I'm like, yeah, man, let me get back to King Ghidorah. Let me get some Rodan up in this piece, man. Like, I'm not feeling it.
They had
And then
to
the story
give
made
like
no
the
sense.
women something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm like, you ain't
The
even like,
women.
it didn't
I'm
even make
doing the
sense
quotes
too.
here.
Like, the mom wanted to bring the monsters back to restart the earth or some earth or some shit. I'm like, yeah, y'all missed me with that one. But I mean, but like I said, I actually loved it because the monster fights were amazing, especially in the theater. Seeing Godzilla go versus Monster Zero on the big screen, like that shit was hype. So I enjoyed it. This one, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm excited for it, but like I don't know. And I'm a Kong guy, so I need Kong to win this one, man. Because if they have Godzilla win this one, I'm gonna be a little upset.
Well, okay. So here's my thought process on the whole. They're gonna fight shit, which I'm mad the guy from the 2014 Godzilla isn't in this, so he can say let them fight. But
that was the worst part of that movie, killing him off. I mean, you literally kill. Real quick, you keep killing off the best actors in your film. You killed off Bryan Cranston in the first act of Godzilla, which pissed everybody off. That pissed me off. That was the reason I was gonna go see the movie. Then you kill off Samuel L. Jackson in Kong Skull Island.
No, Samuel Jackson needed to die. I was totally fine with him dying. I was like, nigga, you gotta go.
It's Sam Jackson. I never want to see him die. And then you kill off Ken Watanabe.
The only character
he
can survive through those.
At that point. You know, so I'm like, now, but I'm saying though, killing off Ken Watanabe's character was really stupid, because now the main the main leads for your film are Millie Bobby Brown, Kyle Chandler, and I believe her name's Rebecca. Oh God, not Ferguson. That's she was the bad girl in Iron Man 3. I saw her in there, and I'm like, if these are your three human protagonists, y'all better have a lot of monster fights in this movie.
I think they're going to, because I think based on what happens in King of the Monsters and how many kaiju actually show up in the film, I think we're going to see a lot more. Like, my biggest issue with this fight is that we know there's not going to be a death battle kind of win. There's not going to be, oh, Godzilla's dead, Kong's alive,
Right.
and I hate saying this about my own people, but I know for a fact if Godzilla were to somehow kill King Kong, somebody woke up and be like, well, you know, brother, that stands for the black man being killed. My son's like, shut up.
Yeah.
Like, I
don't know how we adopted Kong as like us. I don't know how Kong became like
how is that automatically
I don't get
us?
That,
but I'm interested in the film just from a standpoint of I just want to see monsters get the shit kicked out of them. Like the scene that made me the most happy was King Kong slinging one monster and knocking that shit out of another. That shit had me giggling inside. That was funny.
Mine is where he throws a haymaker at Godzilla and just knocks him the fuck off the aircraft carrier.
Oh, it took a haymaker and a push. It took a haymaker and a push. Like right cross.
Hey, if you're listening to this in podcast form, we have just been invaded by the Black Girl Marvel. If you're watching this, she's waving at you. What's going on, Black Girl Marvel?
Nothing much. What I miss?
You missed
talking about the Godzilla versus Kong trailer.
Oh, no.
We're talking about how King Kong got shoryukened out the water by Godzilla.
I understood that reference. And
I understood that reference. That's to say something.
Mm-hmm.
Just
what are your initial thoughts on the trailer?
I haven't seen that trailer, so
you had one job.
I saw the poster. Didn't see the trailer.
Right. So next we're gonna jump into some video game news. The most recent rumors for Grand Theft Auto 6 are that Rocksteady has filed a patent for a new type of artificial intelligence. I hate saying that word. The further we go into the 2020s, saying artificial intelligence, that scares me more and more. But to do something that we haven't seen them do in any current video games, I doubt they're going to add in traffic and pedestrian data into Red Dead Redemption 2. So it's possibly the closest hint we have to a new Grand Theft Auto game, which as of right now, it's been 7 years since we've had a last Grand Theft Auto game, which is the longest it's ever been in the entire series.
Oh, that's not bad. We waited 14 years for like Incredibles 2. What's 7 years?
That's a damn good point, Locke. 10 points to Slytherin on that one.
This is true.
So my thought process with GTA 6 is, where the fuck else can they go? You've been everywhere else. You've been in New York. You've been in Chicago. You've been to you did a whole 70s trip in Miami.
Have they been to France? Maybe they should go Maybe they should go international. Maybe they should go international.
I would love for them to go to London.
London would be dope. They got thugs and gangs and all that type of stuff. That'd be dope
everywhere.
It actually plays into GTA.
But you wouldn't think London would.
It's an island. It's an island, so therefore you can have a border. So that explains that. It's got a subway system. It's got a countryside, and it's got a big downtown area, metro population. So I'm like, that kind of checks off every single box for it. Plus, it's always raining there, so you don't have to do too much with making it sunny with the graphics, and that just keep it gray all the damn time like they did in GTA 4, which was an ugly game. I hated GTA 4.
What about like Tokyo or Hong Kong or something like that?
Ooh, man, I that would be too perfect.
It'd be beautiful colors and all that. It'd be that'd be dope.
While we say that, this thought ran into my head, and I hate myself if this actually becomes true. If they put it in Detroit, you know niggas is gonna be out there day fucking one buying that shit. I have never bought a GTA in my life. I would buy that game.
Really?
Just for that?
Really?
Never. I've never had to buy a GTA.
Dave.
Like
So
I've had friends that have let me borrow their GTA game. I've never had to buy one.
GTA 5 is in my top 10 favorite games.
Yeah.
And I'm not even counting the online component, which it's hit or miss because you got a lot
Which one is the one with which one's the one with Nico Bellic?
That's
4.
That's 4.
That's 4.
That's GTA 4. I didn't like that one too much because for one, it just looked ugly to me, like the sepia tone they had over the whole game. It just didn't appeal to me, and the driving was horrible. Like the driving was horrible on that game. If you wanted to make just a regular turn, you had the car looked like it was gonna lean over. It was like driving a boat.
I can see it now. Detroit and Chicago is a DLC.
He's so proud of himself for that one.
No, I'm just thinking like how ignorant this would actually be. Like niggas would actually. I'm really thinking about this. Like you can make this shit work. Like it's cold enough to where it would be stupid.
I'll say this: if you want a game that's based in Detroit, just get Detroit Become Human.
No. I mean, like
that's a great game.
They're gonna have niggas wearing buffs. They're gonna have niggas wearing buffs in GTA 6. Like imagine it. Imagine it, and it'd be like a special item. And if you wear it, niggas automatically are attracted to you, and they want to knock you the fuck out.
Maybe we should talk off camera, and then we should make this game then. Lou, are you? I know you're a casual-ish gamer-ish. Are you a GTA player?
I've actually never played GTA.
What?
None of them.
Wow.
GTA got.
I've watched other people play.
As the technology got better, and GTA, the nastier it got. Like it was just
very much so.
It's like it got like more and more realistic. Like you can have sex with like prostitutes and give them money. It's crazy.
No, look.
My bro was always off fucking a prostitute somewhere, and I was like, because I would be playing like I was just like I figured like he was trying to like tell me to like go away. So I'm like, cool. He was like, I was like, what you doing? He's like fucking a prostitute. I'm like,
all right, cool. I'll see you later.
All right, I'm gonna head out. No, look. So in GTA 5, it's so immersive, man. Like I've never played The Witcher, but like I hear The Witcher is like one of the most immersive games ever. GTA 5 is one of those, and like you can go and do almost anything. So you can go to a strip club. So when you go to the strip club, they tatas out. They ugly, like they round, like they hard as hell. But
I would wait for one of y'all to say it because like that word just threw me the fuck off. Like I've never heard that. I've heard that word in a long time.
Because like I'm playing the game, and this is my first playthrough. And I got on my TV. I had like a 64-inch at the time, and I'm loving it. It's crazy. And then like the controller vibrates as the girl gives you your lap dance.
Oh, that's
so
sexy.
My controller's vibrating. I'm like, oh, this is wild.
Your controller's vibrating, huh?
And you just set it in your lap, huh?
Yeah.
So and then of course you can go in the first person view. So the first person view, so they in my face. My mom comes in the room.
That's hilarious.
My mom comes in the room as I'm getting a lap dance and says, "What the hell?" And then just does. If you've ever seen the Abe Simpson gif where he walks in, sees Bart, and turns around, walks right back out, that was my mom. That was
That's funny.
The funniest thing I've ever seen with that game was my homie had me play Vice City. I'm like, okay, let's play it, and then whatever. And then he's like, pick up a girl. I'm like, okay.
I ain't really like Vice City, but go ahead.
Random girl gets put in the car. He says, drive around the block and park the car. Like, okay. And the car starts moving. I'm like, is he having sex with her? Like, yeah. So the girl gets out the car, and then he just says to me, now run her over. Nigga, what? Wait a minute. Hold on.
Psycho.
Hey, early in the game.
How did we go from pleasure to manslaughter?
Hey, early in the game, when you ain't got that much money, you need to get that $40 back, man. Like,
he had cheat codes, so he had $1 million. I'm like, do we have to kill her?
He's crazy. That's like Norman Bates-ish type stuff. Like
having said
you
that,
know what's funny? I never actually did that in GTA 5. I never did it because I just felt wrong for then taking the service and then killing her. I just felt weird about that part.
Having said that, though,
who was the lead in GTA 5?
That was the triple lead. That was Franklin, Trevor, and Michael.
Oh,
That was the one where you could actually switch between 3 different characters.
I'm
That's why I
trying to
love it
remember if I played
because
that.
each one of them plays differently. Because like Franklin, the black guy, he's more like the normal type of GTA protagonist, to where he's from the ghetto and he wants to go on missions and do stuff to become like a boss. Trevor is just crazy as shit. He's anarchy. He's the Joker. He just likes to kill and shoot people just for shits and giggles. And Michael is like the retired hitman gangster character who begrudgingly has to come back into it. So they took 3 different characters who could have been the main character of any game and threw it in there. And their interactions are hilarious between the 3 actors because they did all of their scenes together. So they're really playing off each other, you know, when they're doing the mocap, which really adds to it. It's an immersive game. I always say get it because it's fun. It's long. It's a long game to get 100% because you have 3 different characters you have to do everything for. So, and the fact there's been 7 years, I'm like, even if you don't give us GTA 6, just give us some single player DLC, man. Like, let me continue to be in this world with these characters because it's the highest selling video game outside of Minecraft ever. It's the fastest selling property of anything ever. Like, it's like the only other thing that's made more money in entertainment wise than GTA 5 is Gone with the Wind and Avengers Endgame and Avatar. That's it.
So money.
Yeah, it is.
So next,
think about it. Those games be like $60 a pop too. I can get my movie for like $5. You feel me?
Real talk though, if you look at the top 10 selling video games every single year since 2013, it's still in the top 10, like top 15.
Look, and it's been 7 years. See, they ain't worried about y'all. They gonna come out with something dope.
I did see that the
online component alone, they make about $150 million a year just off of online stuff, just from
I'm gonna see if I can get an internship at Rockstar or something.
I did see that Capcom dropped their Resident Evil 8 stuff, which
is that the one where it's like I think I saw a clip of that where it's like a giant woman coming into a house or some shit.
Nope. That's it. But nope. Y'all don't have enough money to make me play that. I'll admit now, I'm the biggest wuss when it comes to Resident Evil. I don't like first person horror games. That definitely was one of them. I don't need a girl to literally fly around like a bunch of flies, become a vampire, and bite me in the neck. Nope, I'm good. This is some white shit. Niggas don't fuck with this shit.
That's what Lou said. Lou don't like stuff like that. Lou don't like
the whole premise of the story makes no sense to me.
Person getting chased by something like Resident Evil type stuff.
Like the 7th game, I hate to go off topic. The 7th game makes no sense. His girlfriend goes missing for a year in Louisiana. He gets one voicemail from her and decides to drop everything. I'm not call the police, the National Guard, none of that. He goes by himself to this backward area of Louisiana. Nope. No woman is worth me going that far to go get after a year.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
Shout out to your future wife.
I'm just look. If you've been missing,
maybe Rihanna. Maybe Megan.
If you've been missing for a year and you just randomly this voicemail for me to come get you, no.
That is the definition of new phone. Who this?
Something's a foul here.
Listen,
my nigga that was going off.
Some people be on their Hawkeye and they keep a phone. You feel me? So I'm with it.
My man's paid the same phone plan. You know that was a family plan.
Yep.
like you know it was a family plan because like he had a teenage daughter, so she had to have a phone. So you know they had to have that shit. So.
Oh, look why I'm laughing.
So the creator of Thanos explains that he expects that Thanos will make a return in the MCU.
In Eternals.
Do we really need?
He said in Eternals, right?
He expects it to be that one because that one does play into his story. But do we need to see more Thanos?
Not unless it's like a prequel type one-shot story of him, maybe his being on his hometown and the whole genocide thing that he kind of showed us in Infinity War. Other than that, I don't see no reason for him to be back.
I think, based on what they're currently doing in the comics with the Eternals and how he is their first villain, I can see them bringing him back. But I believe the thought was that his brother might be the villain for Eternals. His brother Eros might be the villain. Oh, sorry, not Eros. Star Fox. Well, yeah, literally, his name is Star Fox. Will be the villain for.
Do a barrel roll. Roll.
That'd be funny as hell if he did that as a move. But I wouldn't be surprised if his son, his brother, or his son, who is in the comics, he's an Inhuman, but they could easily make him a deviant, like Thanos looks like, because Thanos is referred to as a deviant, like he looks like a deviant.
Mm-hmm.
So I could easily see that. I don't think Thanos himself. I don't think Josh Brolin, the actor, or Thanos the character will be coming back as a full-on character for.
Well, they said that it was reports saying that he signed on to play 2 characters in the MCU. So
I can see him. I can see him coming. I don't think Thanos is going to come back, because I don't think that's, with Eternals being the 3rd movie right after the 4th movie right after Endgame. I think bringing Thanos back this soon is a little like, if you were doing a second Eternals or 3rd Eternals movie and Thanos showed up in some capacity, then yeah, I can see that.
But then it's like, what like, when does Eternals take place? Is that like a current Thanos? Like, did he get unsnapped somehow, or is that a different version of him?
I believe Eternals takes place after Endgame.
Which is good. Well, I heard it takes place a little before and a little after, because they are eternal.
Right.
Parts of the
story. Yeah, literally.
You mad about that?
I think this is a part of the story will take place before that. I'm all right with Thanos. Like, the one thing I do want them to do going forward is introduce new characters. Like, we've had too many films. Like, I'll even use Captain Marvel as an example. Captain Marvel was the 20th film in the MCU, and the major MacGuffin for that film was the Tesseract, which had already been the major MacGuffin in 2 of the first phase movies. So that was one thing for me.
It's been a MacGuffin in every phase. It's been used in pretty much. Because it was used in the first.
But I mean, phase. The movie, but Captain America: The First Avenger, it was the main MacGuffin. The Avengers, it's the main MacGuffin. Like, when I saw that actually was one of the things that gave me a bad taste about Captain Marvel, because I'm like, we've seen this before. I know this is a prequel film primarily, but I'm like, we don't still need to have the same beats about the Tesseract. Like, we already know it. I know it's kind of fan service also, but I'm like, we're 20 films deep, man. We've already.
Is that actually fan service? Is people looking for the Tesseract in these movies?
This could be true. Lou, what do you think? Do you want to see more Thanos in the MCU?
No, not really, because there's no need to keep repeating, characters. Okay, he had his whole little thing. Mm-hmm. We can move on. You know what I'm saying? Let's just move on. We adding in, new good people. Let's add in some new bad people. Let's
keep it growing, keep it moving.
Yeah, let's keep it moving. There's no need for all that. I can see if he's you might see him, but he don't need no storyline
mentioned in the background or something like that.
Yeah,
depending on when it takes place or whatever. So.
Or you can see him walking in the background like Alfred Hitchcock or some shit. Like, you just walking, you just see a purple dude with a big ass chin. Just
so we know. From what is the premise of this, it says that it's after Endgame. So I think they're gonna copy off kind of what they're doing in the comics prior and now. Where they're saying they're in like a slip space of Earth. They've been hiding in plain sight, but not really there. So I can see them easily doing like, oh yeah, Thanos is someone involved, but not really. Like, oh, Thanos is finally gone. Now we gotta do it with his brother, who's leading the Deviants. That kind of situation.
So just like a mention.
Yeah, a mention. I don't. Mm-hmm. I think if Thanos is gonna be shown in anything, I think he'll be shown in What If. I don't think he'll be shown in the Eternals. I think he'll also show up. He'll probably show up in WandaVision in some kind of capacity, but that's because Wanda's trauma. So
I could see that. So the next couple of topics are really all kind of related to each other. So we are already into 2021. Again, we made it, baby. We made it. Basically every yeah, I know, right? Basically everything is still getting postponed even further into either 2021, or in some cases we're getting pushes into next year already in January. We're getting Uncharted which is gonna really hurt me. I really wanted to see that this year. Morbius are already confirmed to be pushed into 2022. No Time to Die, the next James Bond film, that has been pushed even further into 2021. Black Widow has been postponed even further into 2021.
Has it
And yeah,
Yeah.
officially?
Yeah.
yep.
I'm looking now. I don't see the official saying it's been postponed.
Last thing I saw, they said they are postponed. I think it may. I don't think it's that long, but still, it's been postponed a little further. It's kind of like what us they did with Cyberpunk. Like it's not that much longer, but it's still another postponement. And then you got A Quiet Place Part 2, which is now gonna be coming in September. I need A Quiet Place. Like I need that movie. Like I need to see this film. It's the time we're in now. Things are gonna keep getting postponed as this vaccine is gonna start getting rolled out. They're getting their hopes up that theaters can come back to being at some type of normalcy, but it's still just hard. Especially the one that really hurts me the most is Uncharted. Like I've been waiting for this film for so long, even back when Mark Wahlberg was originally gonna play Nathan Drake, and
That's hilarious.
So
that actually probably, I mean, 10 years ago, that probably would have been a pretty good casting. Now I'm like, yeah, he should play Sully. Like he's too old to play Nathan.
I'm looking online at Black Widow. It's saying that it hasn't been officially delayed yet, but they're thinking about doing a Disney Plus with a premiere access drop.
Okay, fix your brow line.
I'm just reading. I'm sorry. I was trying to. I have my glasses on. I mean, in all honesty, I don't mind Black Widow getting dropped on Disney Plus. I think it should have been dropped last year, but that's something we were talking about before. I think because they still haven't said what they're going to do just on the Marvel side. They said how they're going to do with Black Widow, Shang-Chi, the Eternals, and the Spider-Man movie. I know Spider-Man's still shooting right now, and then the other three are done. I think two of those four are gonna get pushed back. I think Eternals and Spider-Man definitely will. Shang-Chi and Black Widow, I think are gonna get dropped immediately. I think they will get dropped on the service because Eternals is a property that is big enough to where you can't have it not in theaters. Spider-Man is for sure going to be in theaters only. It's not going to be on Disney Plus, and if it is, I'd be shocked.
Actually, I doubt it would be because none of the other Spider-Man films are on there because of the deal with Sony.
I'm saying it will.
That's a Sony film. Sony
will put it on their system on their drops. They wouldn't do it on
needs Spider-Man to come out, and they need James Bond, No Time to Die to come out because their movie division is going to hinge on those two films because those are $2 billion films.
That's true.
Yeah, they need those in theaters.
If Spider-Man does get delayed, because it's supposed to come out in December, I think it won't get delayed further than January. Because while they need to release the movie, they still have to keep in continuity of Marvel stuff. Because Doctor Strange 2 comes out March of next year, and they don't want to push that further back and upset the apple cart even further. I do think Shang-Chi is going to get pushed into Disney Plus. I think that'll be the first one that I won't mind them because that was not a big risk money-wise for them. Black Widow is going to drop on Disney Plus just because of everything that's supposed to come out. Black Widow is the one that is a well-known property enough to where if it goes to Disney Plus, it won't hurt it. Like if of all those movies, you don't know Eternals that well, you don't know Shang-Chi, and you know Spider-Man. Those two, the first two I named, can go to theaters. Black Widow can drop on Disney Plus tomorrow, and it has enough hype. That name alone has enough hype to where it can be profitable enough for them to bring in new subscribers or $30 price point that we're gonna have to pay for. I'll pay $30 for that.
I pay $30 to watch Black Widow. I'd pay that. It's not even my Disney Plus, and I play. No, I'm joking. Lucia, of any of these movies that have been delayed, which is the one that kind of hurts you the most?
I actually was really looking forward to Black Widow. If it gets delayed, I don't mind paying the money. So they could have been dropped it. So I mean, but I maybe I don't want to say like maybe that's not a good sign. You know what I'm saying? Like if you are I can see they want people to come back, and people, as soon as this is over, people are gonna flood places. So I understand that that's what they want. I get that, but at the same time, it's like we've been asking for this. Y'all kind of holding everything up. Y'all could have been dropped this. You know what I'm saying? We all went crazy because of WandaVision because we had nothing in forever. Like you could have been
So
dropped
true.
This is the drug. This is the actual drug.
Like
Honest,
for real.
I need my fix, man. I need my fix.
When that
So
Marvel
that
studio
it almost makes me feel like maybe there's something wrong with it. Maybe they don't think it's very strong. Maybe they don't feel like
could this be
I
a
don't
New
know, or maybe
Mutants
they're
type
being
situation?
No, I don't think this is
greedy. A what?
A New
I didn't hear what
Mutants
you
type
said.
situation. New Mutants to where they've seen the
No.
film, they're not that confident in it.
I don't think they would do that to Scarlett Johansson. First of all, that character is way too important. And then of course it's Scarlett Johansson. Like they wouldn't do that to her. So I don't know. Maybe they just didn't have a strong movie and they felt like they didn't, and they really just wanted people to flood the theater to see it.
I
that's
do
why
kind of
they're holding off.
I do kind of like the fact that they didn't just rush this one out. The fact that this is only the second female-led film that you've produced so far, and they're taking time with this one to where they're not just, okay, let's just throw it on Disney Plus and get it out the way. They want this to be a big film. Like they want this to succeed. I like that because this, like you said, this character, I love Natasha as a character. So
Yeah,
I want this to get its just due. I mean, I wanted her film in phase 2. Like I wanted to see the backstory behind Budapest. Like I wanted to see this character kicking ass. So I'm ready for this.
So realistically, we have WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and Loki in the first quarter of this year. There's nothing in the second quarter, and I can easily see you putting out Black Widow and Shang-Chi the second. Third and fourth, you have your movies and your TV. They have enough TV and movies alone to cover the fall. You have Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, What If, I'm blanking on one, Moon Knight, Eternals, Spider-Man, and then your Star Wars stuff on top of that. Exactly. You have your Star Wars
all
on top
Disney
of that.
Plus has to do is limp to November and release season 3 of The Mandalorian. Like that's all they have.
Mando's not coming out till next year. So I mean, Mando's not getting a third season until next year. So and you still in this year alone, you'll have Ahsoka, Andor, and then Boba Fett's series. So they have enough stuff to last the back half of this year. So the front half is the issue for them. I think with the way WandaVision is going and how the fact that they're like, okay, we're gonna drop WandaVision and it'll be done. But by the time it's done, you'll have a week reprieve before you start up Falcon and Winter Soldier. And then when Falcon and Winter Soldier ends, a week or two, you start Loki up. With that schedule, you could drop Black Widow at the end of Loki, wait a month, and then drop Shang-Chi. Because Marvel is not one for not changing the schedule before. As me and Lai talked previously, they moved Infinity War up a month because of Black Panther. So they aren't. So it is not unlike them to change the schedule on a drop of a dime.
One thing I haven't heard anything about, and granted, Hollywood itself is just getting back to really mass producing big films, especially the tentpoles. But what a miss.
Nothing.
Never. I forgot what I was gonna say. Blade. Like I really I want to see what's gonna happen with Blade because they haven't really said anything since Mahershala's initial casting, and that's kind of just been it.
I just kind of want to see Mahershala with the drip. Like I just want to see how he gonna look, his style.
You know that leather coat gonna be
man. Fire. I just want to know, like, is he gonna talk like Wesley Snipes or like have like that thing, like that same kind of like swag that Wesley Snipes had? Like, I'm just curious to see.
I wonder if he's gonna have the haircut too, because that
the haircut, yeah, the haircut's iconic. So I wonder because like I don't want him to like mimic Wesley Snipes, but also it's like I still want to have that feeling like that, like cool, like because I feel like he the way Wesley Snipes played it was like he was a black man that just happened to be a vampire,
Right.
and not like a vampire black man. So it's like I
Right.
still need like that. I still need that judge, you know what I mean? I need that. That's some good
He
stuff.
was a brother that just happened to be a vampire.
Exactly. He was like, you know,
not Blackula.
Exactly. Or vampire in Brooklyn. You feel me?
Oh God, man, I get so much hate because
I love Vampire in Brooklyn. It's just so unnecessary that it's necessary. I love it so much.
I mean, I get it because I mean it's a big budget black vampire horror film, which you know that doesn't happen. But that movie was just like I watched Daddy Daycare over Vampire in Brooklyn. Like that is like one of Eddie's worst films for me. Like I'll watch Holy Man before I watch Vampire in Brooklyn.
Wow. You know what's crazy though? The movies that people say that they don't like of Eddie Murphy's, I wonder how much money he made on that movie.
Oh, he's
like how much he solely made because a lot of us be like, man, that's Eddie Murphy, man. He like a better caliber. What he doing these like dumb movies for? And he probably got paid a grip for these dumb movies, just looking at people like, you stupid.
He was doing the Adam Sandler before Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Thanks.
In terms of Mahershala Ali playing Blade, I'm hoping his character is a combination of what he was in Luke Cage and House of Cards. Like, you don't suspect him being that monster, but he's like in behind the scenes doing shit. Like one thing I don't want them to do is the same thing they did in the first Blade.
Behind the scenes biting chicks' necks and shit. like he behind the scenes biting chicks' necks.
That didn't work. Nope.
That's the thing that I'm concerned with Blade is like, now you're a part of the MCU. You didn't have those same characters you had before. So how are you going to incorporate that side? Are we going to get a Midnight Sun?
But then how about if like Blade and Deadpool team up in a movie?
That'll never happen because the universe would explode.
Man. And then the thing is Blade, is at least how Wesley played him. He played him kind of like he had that low like comedy. Like it was like Blade movies, the first two like weren't comedies, but like
they had comedic moments,
a couple funny aspects, and Wesley's delivery, like that deadpan delivery,
yeah.
Like I like the one one of my favorite lines, like the first one because I love the first one the most, is the girl that's helping Wesley's character out. She says something to him. She's like, "How do you afford all this?" And so he's robbing somebody. Like I think he just beat somebody up. He's robbing them, and she's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "How do you think we afford all this? We ain't the March of Dimes." I'm like, yeah. I
feel like some of that was ad lib by Wesley Snipes too. I feel like
half that movie was ad lib. Like the scene where he gets shot in the hospital. He's like, "Motherfucker, are you out your mind?"
Best
like
part.
That shit is completely ad lib. That's a 1,000% ad lib. But I would love if they found a way to tie in the Midnight Sun. Like that's a project I would love to see the MCU do. Like give us our first R-rated horror superhero team. Like of just like him.
One thing I wouldn't mind if you had because they're probably with all the newer characters. I even know Blade's not new, but there are some people who are not as versed in Blade as the
that
rest
are new
of us.
to Blade.
Right. So I wouldn't mind if you had somebody like Doctor Strange kind of shepherd in that, like kind of be like the guy that pops up in there, because Doctor Strange, we never saw the mystical side of the MCU until Doctor Strange. And from what we've heard of Multiverse of Madness, we're kind of having horror elements. The fact that you got a horror director and Sam Raimi coming in to add some stuff into it, it's going to get a little more hardcore PG-13. We could say. So
don't
Blade,
don't give me hope. Don't give me hope. Don't give me hope. Don't give me hope. Please don't.
I can only imagine what Sam Raimi is gonna do, man. I mean, you don't hire Sam Raimi to do something that has horror elements in it and not just let him do a couple things that are just gonna scare the shit out of people. So I mean, like that's the main. I like Benedict Cumberbatch. I'm a fan of Doctor Strange as a character, but that driving force for me to go see that film is really Sam Raimi, because I mean he's a Michigan guy.
Gonna be a lot of tentacles. Uma Garath.
He has to make some reference to one of his older films.
I just want him to show up. I just want Uma Garath to show up. Like Uma Garath, just like, what the fuck is this giant tentacle monster coming out of nowhere? Yeah, kill it now. I need that. But yeah,
So,
I'm looking forward to it.
Of the films that have been delayed, does which one that is there any ones that anybody's just like, man, I'll catch it whenever it comes out? Like it's not
James
like, I
Bond.
don't feel the need for.
I was disinterested with the time. I was completely disinterested the second they announced it. The trailer looks nice, don't get me wrong, but I still could care less. Like Daniel Craig is not my favorite Bond. The only one I actually thought he was serviceable in was Skyfall, and it wasn't because of him. Even though I don't know that
shots fired. Like, jeez.
Yeah, Skyfall is the one that makes no sense because you leave.
Wait. Skyfall doesn't make any sense. In the film that comes after that, the proceed that follows it, that film makes no fucking sense. Spectre makes no fucking sense.
Spectre's just as dumb, but Skyfall has the dumbest scene in Bond history. Where look, we're gonna escape the city, and what are we gonna do? We're gonna hide in a house in the middle of nowhere with no kind of protection, with hills on both sides of the house and a straight line to the house. No, it's not like it's a brand new house that has metal shutters. No, it's a brick and mortar, and you still lose. Like,
I give you that.
Like, I don't think Daniel Craig's the worst actor
real
in the
quick,
world.
Though, who is your favorite Bond?
My favorite Bond is Pierce. Pierce is my favorite Bond.
Is Pierce your favorite Bond because he's the Bond of your time?
Well, I grew up also watching the Roger Moore and the Sean Connery ones. Pierce, I like Pierce's story better. Like for me, Pierce, the movies were better, the Bond girls were better, and the games that went along with those also made the story that era better for me. No Time, like GoldenEye.
Now, I'll say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
For me, I did grow up with Pierce because I was a child of the 80s, so I watched Remington Steele. So I was used to seeing him being a badass on just regular TV. And the first Bond I ever actually remember seeing was Timothy Dalton. So my introduction to Bond was the Timothy Dalton movie, which now retrospectively were really pretty good. Like they hated on them at the time, but now those his Bond is more closer to Daniel Craig's Bond than any other two Bond's characters. But like I grew up with Pierce because like if I'm gonna make James Bond, I would kind of make him more like Pierce. Like Roger Moore to me was too fucking old. Like it wasn't believable that a dude with that many wrinkles on his face was getting chicks that damn young. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. Like that, even as like a 10-year-old, I'm
not
like,
really because OnlyFans doesn't exist.
No, we are the future.
But then like the Connery Bond was suave as shit and cool, but like he was smacking women in the face and shit. Like I wasn't with them shits. Like I see him smack women, grabbing them shit. I'm like, oh, like whoa, calm it down, bro. You ain't got to grab her arm like that. Like
I don't remember what movie it was, but I remember he cocked back his hand and smacked the fuck out. So I'm like, should he be doing that? Like, Bond, should I be watching this?
And the thing is, like, I know which one you're talking about. I forget exactly the film, but I remember the scene. And I'm watching as a kid, and I'm like, wait, like any other time I see that, it's like a Lifetime movie. Like the movie gets dramatic after that point. Like that's not something we play lightly. I mean, that was of the times and shit. I'm like,
plus,
I ain't with that.
Pierce's Bond era gave me two of my favorite games, which is of course GoldenEye, and then the sequel to GoldenEye, which you played as the villain, which was one of the funnest games I've ever played. But I love that Bond. I would like Bond to be a different person and a different color, but we know how that's gonna go. So
I look at James Bond like they look at Doctor Who, because like it's like
white.
He always regenerates into a white man. I mean that's Doctor Who. Like we finally got like the first quote unquote the first female, and it's
why is quote unquote
because there's another one that's like supposedly the first. It's like in canon or something like that. But Jodie Whittaker is like from like our perspective the first female doctor. So it's kind of like, it's like, and it's 2021. You know what I mean? I mean, she came in like in 2019 or whatever. So it's kind of like, and Doctor Who's been on for over 50 years. So it's like, you know, so I look at, because Doctor Who is kind of like, it's a title, yes, but because he regenerates, he could be anybody. He could be a man, he could be a woman, he could be a child, you know what I mean? But it's always been played by a white man. James Bond.
That is funny too, that they never really played around with that more. I mean, like, you have it written into your narrative that the character anything. Why not try that out?
Exactly.
Like you're doing
I mean, but eventually they've shown that like the doctor has been, but they never make it like a lead. Like you could have had like, I don't know, you could have been using people of the times like Millie Bobby Brown because she was popular for like straight. She could have been a doctor, like brought in a new generation or whatever. Like, but I look at James Bond the same way. Like it's like a moniker, and it's always been like these old white men, these old pale white men with like dark hair, and like that's
in a white suit.
The white suits, like it's either they got on all white suits or they got on like the tuxedo. It's either one. They go back and forth depending on where they at. If they're like in Monaco, it's the all white, but if they're like in the States or somewhere, it's like the black. And so,
that's really shit though.
So I feel like you can switch up James Bond. Like, I know they're supposed to have like Lashana Lynch be like supposedly she's going to be 007.
That feels
I feel
like
I feel like
it's progression. It's a woman.
I feel like it's the
equivalent of best she dies
of John Boyega in Star Wars. I feel like
I'm one of the best she dies before the movie ends. She's dead before the movie ends. She doesn't survive the whole movie.
I don't think she does because I really do feel like that if she wasn't, I feel like if she wasn't in it like that, Lashana wouldn't have been like pumping it up as much as she was. Because she would have just fell flat if she did that.
The social justice warriors,
man, they would be on their head.
They will burn Eon.
You don't care.
But here's the quote me though. Quote me though on this. I do feel like I don't want this to be true, but I feel like her casting is in the vein of a John Boyega. You use me for clout. You use me for the black vote, whatever you call it.
And it does make sense because I mean we've had technically it was supposed to come out in 2020, so you would have had 14 years of Daniel Craig Bond films, and they've had that would have been the 6th Bond film for him, and since like the second, maybe third one, when Daniel Craig really starts saying, okay, I'm getting tired of doing this shit now because it's like a lot on my body. It's a lot of time. I can't do that many other films. Like I can't be with my wife that much, Rachel Weisz, which we wouldn't want to be. And I'm like, y'all ain't even paying me that much. And that's when we started getting those Idris Elba rumors. And now you got a black Bond. It's like, hey, see, we can be progressive. It's like, be progressive because it's the right thing, not to placate.
Exactly.
And you know what? I wouldn't want Idris Elba as James Bond right now. I would rather, you know what?
I feel like he is a black secret agent. Like,
just give us a black secret agent that ain't James Bond. Like, you don't have to like make that character that like even like I said like back in the day about Ghostbusters in 2016. Like, you didn't have to make a female Ghostbusters. You could have just had 4 great females in a ghost hunting type movie and not call it Ghostbusters, and that probably would have been better.
I mean, that's what I kind of feel about Charmed. You didn't have to call it Charmed because like it's not really Charmed. You know what I mean? So it's
like some things are just ingrained in what they are. Like Charmed is the original series. Like doing a reboot of it, what are you really going to do that
especially different? When you step so far from it? Like you stepped so far from what the original was to what you're trying to do now. It's like it shouldn't even be named Charmed. You using my name for clout. So that's all it is. So like I feel like it's like on that same vein of what you're talking about. But
and that's the thing, like certain properties get that. Like every actor that's played Superman has played kind of the same version of Superman. Like Henry Cavill's was a little more brooding, you know, only because they wanted to be more like Batman, but it's always kind of been that same character. You're not gonna have Will Smith as Superman making jokes in the film. That's right. That ain't Superman.
That would imply you're gonna have a black man play a character that strong.
But no, but he knew that. I was just about to say that he knew that, so he just made Hancock instead. Terrible.
Which you know what though, I didn't like it when it first came out, and that movie does have issues, especially in the story. But thinking about it now, I really appreciate it more because we ain't had something like that since.
No, I agree. I
We
agree.
ain't had,
I think Will Smith is
strong black
actually.
superhero.
I feel like Will Smith is actually at his most like kind of natural funny in that movie because he played a character who didn't care, so he could just like not care and be funny and tell jokes. And I feel like he had some very like some sleeper jokes in that film that like if you go back and watch it, you'll be like, yo, that's actually hilarious, or like how disrespectful he is to children and stuff like that. Like
that movie came out, I was
Stuff's
like
good.
22. Like, yeah, I think I was like 22 when that came out. And I'm like, oh, he's just being an asshole. At 35, I'm like, yeah, fuck them kids. Like, I get it. Don't wake me the hell up. Like, let me sleep. I get that. I get that. Now I'm sleep. Don't wake me up.
It's funnier that it's funny thinking that you know that movie, while it is a definite shot at like Superman and all those kind of movies, it's better than all the DC movies put together.
Irritating.
It don't take that much.
I mean, I see no lies though. You still irritating, but I don't.
I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, well, Aquaman's close, but I like Hancock a little better. And then Shazam was funny, but it ain't Will Smith funny.
Honestly, if you think about it, Hancock is the story of like Hawkman and Hawkgirl. That's all it is.
Oh my God, that's the closest we're ever gonna get to Hawkman and Hawkgirl. That's the closest we're gonna get to Hawkman and Hawkgirl movie.
I didn't watch Justice League Unlimited when it first came out. I have Cartoon Network.
I did. I love it.
I wouldn't ball with back then.
I love Justice League Unlimited.
So I retroactively watched that as I got older. And when they did that mini arc, it's like halfway through one episode and they do something like, wait, that's Hancock.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's Hancock. And then I'm like, no, wait, this came before Hancock. So I'm like, damn. It's like,
that's all it is. It's like the story of Hawkman and Hawkgirl. I thought that was hilarious.
But hey, things are looking up. You know, we got the Suicide Squad.
Things are looking up. You sound so convincing.
I think I'm on my reel for this episode.
Yep.
Lou, what do you think? Are you a fan of James Bond, or you have like a good memory? I mean, they got 24 films.
Like I ain't seen that movie.
I could care less. Like I
feel like James Bond is like her other DC.
No, it's not like that. It's just like, you know, I have seen enough white guys running around pretending like they spies. Like I'm good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm straight. So if I missed that one, I'm sorry. But you know, I'll go watch another one with another white guy pretending he's a spy somewhere.
You know what's funny? It wasn't until Kingsman that I really caught something. Like the narrative theme of that, and they're mostly named JB. James Bond, Jason Bourne, Jack Bauer. I'm like, damn, that
motherfucker.
Not good.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that till just
look at Tez. Look at
It's either JB or JR.
I'm like,
dying.
Damn, that's
fuck.
And the thing is, that came in Kingsman, and the thing is, it was a good scene, and that's all I came. I'm like, damn, I don't know how I didn't put together the Jack Bauer and Jason Bourne, who were at the exact same time. Like,
yo,
damn,
Jason
that
Bauer,
is bad writing.
Jason Bauer sound like he fine.
Yeah, Jason Bauer sounds like he was in Washington on.
I will say the only movie, Lord, the only movie I'm saying.
No, but real quick though, I Pierce Brosnan is my James Bond because he's in my thing, but also because I equate like everything to music.
Wait,
I love.
What thing are you referring to? Can you clarify that?
I love the thing. Like
I love the soundtrack. I love the soundtrack to Die Another Day. Die Another Day is my favorite.
Madonna.
Not even just Madonna.
I'm gonna die another day.
You sound spot on.
That shit was. And it's funny. I didn't even realize that was Rosamund Pike. I didn't even realize that was Rosamund Pike in that movie too.
Yeah, Rosamund Pike.
Oh, she is in that movie.
Like you wasted a great young actress that just happened to be just a generic Bond villain.
But hey, she might not have been that great of an actress. Everybody, you grow. But I love that Another Day. Like that's like my James Bond movie. So.
That's your favorite one?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? And I'm gonna get some weird looks, and it's gonna be about Brosnan. I love The World Is Not Enough.
That's not bad. I'm not mad at it.
I don't know what that one. That one don't get no love. Yeah, it's got Denise Richards as an astrophysicist named Christmas Jones, Doctor Christmas Jones. So yeah, it has that.
The
But
names might be the best thing about James Bond.
octopus.
Yes.
But nah, that one I love that one for one. That was like the most cold-blooded that the Brosnan Bond had been, because like he was world weary by that point, because his films were in continuity. So he had seen GoldenEye, he had seen Tomorrow Never Dies. Now he's at this one, and it was the first female Bond villain film with I'm not gonna mispronounce her name. She's very talented. She was the first, and then it was played. Well, this is a spoiler if you haven't seen a 22-year-old movie, but she was the villain, and you didn't find that out until like halfway through the third act. That it's basically she had Stockholm syndrome.
What are you talking about?
The World Is Not Enough.
No, but who's the actress?
Sophie. I can't. It's French.
Is she the one that was in Kingsman with the 9 feet?
No. She's older than that.
Sophie Vergara?
Is she black?
No, she white. Ain't gonna get no black woman. That.
Oh, I mean, we villains. I mean, what are you giving?
The movie that pissed me off the most while he's thinking of that is Quantum of Solace, because they did a woman in a fridge scene with the oil. The girl come like dead, did like death by oil, and they had her sprayed out over the body, over the bed. I'm like, that was unnecessary. That was not needed at all. Her name
is Sophie Marceau. Marceau.
Okay.
Yeah, Marceau. It's French.
Yeah. So yeah, she did good, because you thought she was just the generic Bond girl, and then she's the villain. Robert Carlyle was great as Renard.
So she was Talia al Ghul.
God damn. No, and his character couldn't feel pain in that film either.
So he was Bane.
Yeah.
Oh shit, Christopher Nolan's a hack. God damn, I didn't even
let the hate flow through.
We having some revelations on this fucking episode, man, for real.
There go the title.
We dropping.
There go the
title.
The Book
of Revelations.
Drop a clue bomb for that shit. Revelations.
Revelations. Yeah.
But not like yeah, man. That's my favorite one. It's just it's not one of the best. It's not going to be referred to like in the top 10 Bond films, probably, if you look at it. But that one just hit for me because I'm like, it was just cool. It was just cool. Yeah, it's stupid, but it's not too stupid. But it's not bad. Any other news that we have to talk about today?
That I can think of, no.
Because they're not recasting Chadwick in Black Panther. What's her name? Auntie Angela Bassett, because she my auntie forever. She said that he's irreplaceable.
Courtney B. Vance, you still owe me that knife fight in the Chick-fil-A parking lot for Angela.
He don't care about you.
He a Detroit brother, so he knows.
Okay. He don't. He still don't.
Okay.
So he got her.
Well, what were you saying, Loud, before you were cut off by Courtney B. Vance's threat?
Angela Bassett said that I think she's happy that he's not being replaced because he is irreplaceable. I just thought it was sweet that she said it. So
that's going to be a debate until that movie drops. I think that's going to be a debate in the Black community and just nerd community altogether. Should they have replaced him? And the answer is frankly no. They told you they weren't going to replace him. Why if, as we said before in this podcast, if this was the 5th person to play Black Panther, sure, totally understand that. He's the first one.
Or how about if he didn't die and he just decided to leave, or maybe then recast him? Yes, but the dude died at the height of his career. A full year yet. But he died at the height of his career,
And he made them money. Like, it's not like the movie was like a indie success. It got some good reviews. This movie made over $1 billion and was nominated for
moved one of their bigger films that come out after that up a full fucking month. They moved their entire schedule up a month for you.
They didn't even expect this. You have the biggest entertainment machine of all time behind you, and they underestimated how much the culture came out for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hell, you don't do it. I mean, that's the thing. It wasn't. And I'm not one of those people that's gonna be a prisoner of the moment. It was the greatest film ever. It was a great film. it wasn't. I don't think it was lightning in a bottle. I think
True.
you hit something. You found a character. You found a good actor. You found a good director. You found good like people in that film that made it work. It wasn't like Iron Man was lightning in a bottle, because had that film not succeeded,
Yeah,
we're
that was
not
the trial
talking
by
about,
fire. That was like the hey, we
Yeah,
gotta
we're
put
not
something
talking about
out.
the MCU
See
right
what's
now. Iron
popping.
Man isn't good. So many things could have easily gone wrong to make Iron Man a shit film. The fact that you hired a director who had never had a movie that big budget, you had Robert Downey Jr. as your star, coming off of everything he came off of. The fact that you leveraged your whole studio's future on one film, and the fact that it was half ad libbed, that could have gone wrong. This one was a tight cultural phenomenon that everybody wants to see more of. Yeah, you don't
and then
recast it.
and then not just
No.
that. If you also think about how Disney set up, like I went back and watched Disney's Investor Day. If you look at their Investor Day, the announcement they made, a lot of the announcements were about African stories. Had Black Panther not come out and done what it done, do you think Disney would have really invested that much money into it? They're investing millions of dollars into a Nigerian animation studio that had openly talked shit about Disney. So I think something like Black
thing,
Panther is responsible for that.
It could have gone wrong. Like you even didn't even have enough. Like you were so nervous about introducing this character to where he was the second add-in into Civil War. The first was Spider-Man. And they said had they not got the rights to Spider-Man, they still would have tried to
No.
do
Well,
something else. Black
technically,
Panther wasn't going to be just the only one.
well, yeah, because Black Panther was the first one that was shown. They didn't show Spider-Man until like the actual trailer dropped.
Yeah,
No, he's talking about, but like casting them,
like
adding them,
oh, yeah.
adding them, like them
they
planning to add them to the movie.
Like they said, they had a backup script had they not worked their deal out with Sony to where they didn't use Peter in that film, but they were always gonna use Black Panther. But even with that, they weren't just gonna do it at Black Panther. Had they not got Spider-Man, they were gonna add somebody else in because they couldn't just only have a black themed Black Panther character in the film. As much as Kevin Feige says he loves the character, they know their fan base.
And truth be told, when they announced Black Panther was going to be a Civil War, I'm like, oh, that's dope. And my mind completely lost in the second I saw Spider-Man show the fuck. I'm like,
hey, everyone.
Yeah, that's so clutch. That's so iconic too.
That
sidebar. I've watched that trailer 1,000 times. When that trailer dropped, I watched that just to see every part of the motion of him swinging in. Like, how?
That is the first trailer I ever did a trailer reaction for. All the Marvel movies that came out, that is the first film I did a trailer for because that had me so hyped. I had to put it on film and put it out to the masses. Had to just say. But
case in point, though, Black Panther is a title. It is a crown essentially that you wear around your neck. So, yeah, do not recast T'Challa, but still give us Black Panther, and you can easily do that with Shuri. It's canon. I'm pretty sure they were planning on doing that probably third movie, not second movie.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm pretty sure, like I'm dead sure. But you have to now maybe you have to push up those plans. I feel like that might be the next logical step. I don't know what they're going to do if they bring in Killmonger, Michael B. Jordan's character, whether this is like a thing before or maybe they resurrected him. There have been theories out there. We ain't got to go over those, but you don't need to recast T'Challa. I feel like he should lay down beside Chadwick until maybe we out of this MCU type phase.
Right. And
now my kids.
And now you're introducing the multiverse into Marvel. You could use that as a way to bring a T'Challa in.
Exactly. A T'Challa in that somehow comes to our universe that's maybe from a different, like I'm cool with that too. That way it's
more natural.
You can eat that a little bit better, right?
Right. It's more natural. It's not processed.
Right. You can just eat that a little bit better. Because to me, it's kind of like
that's bait. That's bait.
Prime example. Shut up. Prime example to me is like the TV show Bones. Right. I love Bones. And shut up. Sorry. And there's a character named Sweets that everybody loves. Like he played by John Francis Daly.
Really?
Yeah. And so what happened, and I don't know if they did this on purpose, but it just worked out so well. He worked alongside like like Brennan and everybody. Like he worked alongside them and everything, and Seeley and all that kind of stuff.
Seeley
Booth worked alongside them. They brought in another character that was very similar to his character. He wasn't like a psychologist, but he was still like a cop that was like trying to be friends with Booth. And
is that the black guy?
White guy. Made friends with Booth. He got in good with the scientists and all that type of stuff. So like when Sweets died, he was an easy transition. I'm sorry if you ain't seen Bones. Now my bad. Spoilers. Sweets dies. He was a natural transition to like fill those shoes. But it was because
that's kind of a cheap move.
But it was because Sweets was there long enough to kind of give this guy the seal of approval to take his place. You know what I mean? Like when you have something like that, it's a smoother transition for me than to just be like, oh, they died, replace them. Like, no.
And as contrite as it would be, I wouldn't mind, like, okay, say you do make Shuri Black Panther. Letitia Wright holding down this franchise, that's a big shoes to fill. Like Chadwick was a renowned actor. Like when they cast him, that was a big deal. Not the fact they're casting Black Panther, the fact you got a very well known actor to play Black Panther. Like that was a bigger casting than anybody else outside of Robert Downey Jr. in Phase 1. Like Chris Hemsworth wasn't known. Chris Evans.
But I feel like was Chadwick that known though? Like I know people like 42 and he was doing all these like epic, like they know me, like they know my face. But I really feel like nobody really knew Chadwick. I'm not diminishing his work.
I think he was a little bigger than being Black famous. Like he was Black famous, but I think he was a little bigger than being Black famous.
I mean, like maybe a little. I mean, like maybe a touch, because I feel like Black Panther is what turned Chadwick into like the Chadwick we know, and it made people go back. It made people go back and be like, "Yo, what else was he in?" And then because didn't like Get Up come out like right around the time that like Black Panther did or something, like right before
it was right around the time they did the casting,
right? And nobody really paid attention, and then all of a sudden they started talking about all his other stuff. So I really feel like nobody kind of gave him a blink until he was like Black Panther, you know. So. But I don't know. I feel like I get into arguments with people online all the time about this casting, like all the time.
Wait, Chadwick's casting?
Yeah, no. About who's going to be like the next Black Panther. Like I always get into arguments with people about that because I'm like, Shuri's just a natural candidate. Like you might as well. There's meat there. You know what I mean? Plus, It's meat there. It's like emotion there. She just lost her brother, but now it's like. Everybody's looking at her, but also it would be great to see her in a fight with whoever else, like to see her defend that title, like it gotta stay in the family, stuff like that, whatever. If she recreates the herb or whatever she decides to do, I get into arguments because people are like, but I mean, Chadwick was holding it down for the Black community, and you know, see a Black man up there, and I'm like, that's great, but do you know how many young Black women would like to see?
That's big, man. Like
female running the country, bro. Like
the last Black female superhero film we got.
Man, come
on. So we do.
I'm the mindset that
I'm hoping Sophie just erases that for us. Listen, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed that film. I think because sometimes I accept films what they are when they trash. I'm like, you trash and you know it, but we're gonna keep moving with it. Like I accept them for that, but I'm hoping that Zoe kind of erases. She kind of give us the Black woman, Catwoman we need. You know, that's all.
Yeah, I'm of the mindset when it comes to Shuri being Black Panther. I don't even want her to have the herb. I want her to be her own character. Like as smart as she is, as brilliant as she is, as clever as she is, I almost want her to be like her Black Panther to be something that we don't like. Kind of like
so she a mix between Iron Man and Black Panther because that's all she is.
To a degree, like the best way I can describe it is like if you ever see like if you ever look at like the Gundam anime, like you know how every Gundam is different, like they all look the same kind of. Okay, for Kayos, he won't get this. But like
I know the one Gundam, the white one with the shot. That's the only one I know.
I'm just saying, but like later, like every over time, they all get different. Like They have certain weapons, certain abilities, stuff like that.
Yeah, you just want her to be her own character. Like,
yeah, I want to be her own character.
If she's a techie person, she'd be a Black Panther. That's a techie.
The same way.
Person.
Do it the same way you kind of do Miles versus Peter. Peter and Miles pretty much have the exact same abilities, but there's things that they have individually that are different. Peter is way smarter than Miles when it comes to science and technology. Miles is more athletic. He has bioelectricity, and he also can camouflage himself. So that kind of stuff, I want to change.
There are enough.
Wait. His comparison is so messed up to me. He was like, one dude just way smarter than the other one. The other one got great powers. Like,
okay. I'm saying from the standpoint of like,
Spider-Man was written in the 1950s. That's what they would have said. Well, he's obviously smarter, but yeah, he's more athletic.
No, that's not what I meant. What I meant is in the sense of like, in terms of science, in the terms of science and tech, Spider-Man, Peter is.
You know what I would have said, Ted? This is what I would have said. I would have said.
You know what I meant.
I did know what you meant. I'm just messing with you. 27 dresses. I'm just messing with you. But this is what I would have said. If this is me, this is what I would have said. I would have said Peter. I would have said Peter is way more smarter than Miles, but Miles has like a richer background and culture than.
Okay.
No. Miles can just jump higher. He can jump.
Peter. He athletic because he Black. You feel me? He's strong because he Black. He's
athletic. He's athletic. He's urban. He's diverse.
Wow. We've gone about at least 15 episodes without me having my Tahir moment on the show, and the count is now back at 0. So, because I try to make a point, and Lie just she just was like, nope, I can't say that one.
I said 27 dresses, but I just had
no, you can't use it anymore. You can't use it anymore. But no, I'm of the mindset like even when they do Love and Thunder, a Jane Foster store should not be like Chris Hemsworth's store. They should be completely different. They have
no. I'm not saying
I don't see her taking her shirt off in every film.
Right, me neither. But I don't see her being me saying if she recreates the herb. I just want to know if she does, because I know that's part of her storyline too. That like she creates like this synthetic herb. Not to say that she takes it herself, but like
that could be a storyline you could do as well. That she becomes addicted to it.
There's a lot you can do because like that.
No, I don't want the Black woman in a rich community to also be a drug addict.
That's a great narrative like thing to have the heart-shaped herb. That's a great narrative device. Like you could make. I mean, the fact that Wakanda has vibranium and the heart-shaped herb, that really does make them like stand out. But when they burned it down, I'm like, you're kind of like taking away a good part of your narrative structure. I mean, that's also like, that's like saying Iron Man's got his suits, but he ain't rich enough to make any more.
But like, also though I feel like an herb is a plant, and even if you burn a forest down, there's still something there that can grow from it. So it's kind of like it might take some time, but it might develop by itself over time, or a semblance of it, something that she can use as like DNA to, you know what I'm saying, create something synthetic. I'm just saying like you can, nothing ever stays dead forever in any type of comic book or anything, even the heart-shaped herb, I believe. So.
Sure. Look at Jean Grey. On that
note,
note,
oh my God, real quick, Kayos, and then we can end it real quick. My cousin, she my cousin, but she like my little sister. My little sister, she loves all the wrong things, and
don't say DC.
Listen, no, not DC. She like I was over there today, and she was like going on YouTube, just binging like all Scarlet Witch scenes from the MCU, and she was just going. She went down this rabbit hole, like scenes from
scenes
from Winter the story. I'm trying to figure out what she gonna say.
Scenes from Winter Soldier. She going down there, right? And so like she asking me questions. I'm telling her stuff. Then she starts watching a scene from X-Men Apocalypse. And it's the scene where like Professor X is laying down, he's like bald, and he's talking to Jean. He's like, Jean, you need to show them who you are. Like, show them. She literally says out of her mouth.
No, don't say it. Don't say
and
it.
This the
Don't say
here
it.
come the best, and here come the best part. I said, she not even supposed to be a phoenix right now. Like I was like, I jumped out of my skin. And I looked at her and I said, how are we related? How? The best part, the whole movie was trash.
I actively yelled boo at the end where they're killing Apocalypse, and she gets the Phoenix Force.
She
they
just
ain't no way
screams.
to call. She got the fucking Phoenix Force. She turned into a fucking flaming bird. That's the Phoenix Force.
She just
I yelled
screamed.
boo.
But she just like,
and there was other people, like, you heard groans. Like, there were other people who were in the knowledge. They were like,
yeah.
oh, come on.
Yo, they literally repeated X-Men Last Stand by giving her the inappropriate power at the inappropriate time.
You mean X-Men 2?
And I'm like, had you done like
no, because X2 she got the Phoenix, and then she fully had it in 3.
That's what I'm talking about. 3 was trash.
Had you done like the first part of Dark Phoenix or Phoenix,
what movie?
Yeah. Phoenix. Had you done the first part of that in Apocalypse and then had her do that at the end, would have made more narrative sense. When you introduce her into this film, we're just getting used to seeing a new Jean, and 55 minutes later, she got Phoenix.
When the first time she didn't get it, it was until she was how old in the continuity of the, like, that didn't make sense. But I just hated there's literally a 4-part animation that they could watch to show you how to,
which is less than one of the movies.
Exactly, which could show you step by step.
That was 20 minutes each.
How to do this.
I'm not gonna lie. I like Oscar Isaac as Apocalypse. That's it.
Honestly,
he didn't do shit. You didn't even see his face. He didn't do shit.
So here's why. Because here's why. Sure, it's on the list of the worst adaptations, but you know what's worse than that? Pedro Pascal as Maxwell Lord.
Not really.
Oh yes.
I take Maxwell.
Your wish is granted. Your wish is granted.
I'll take Maxwell Lord
got more over. He had more to do than Oscar got more.
Yeah, I'll take Maxwell
Jared
Lord
Leto
over
as Joker.
Listen,
you know what?
To me, I'm looking at performance though. Performance wise,
we didn't get to see that much, and that's why everybody hates on him and Affleck. Affleck. I'm like, we didn't get to see that much of him. Like, we literally only got maybe like 16 minutes, maybe, of his version of Joker. I'm like, I have not gotten enough of him to form my own opinion. I got over 2 hours of Joaquin Phoenix as Joker, and that movie is a fucking travesty. I hate that film. I hate it. It is overrated as fuck.
Look at
Jared Leto.
No, what he got to do. I'm like, the fuck is the matter with you?
I hate that movie. It's overrated as fuck.
I haven't overrated. Seen it yet.
Honestly, I would not.
I don't know what's worse: the fact that he says overrated, or the fact that you haven't seen it yet.
It does not enrich your love of the character. Honestly, like, it is, and I'm like, oh, I hate it, but I can say I don't like it. You might like to go watch it. Hey, I hate The Last Jedi, but you might like it. I hate.
We know you hate The Last Jedi. It's pretty much like it's in your aura. It's like a floating avatar behind you, just saying.
I'm fine.
It's actually written on the wall behind you. You can see it on the wall behind you.
I'm fine with that. But you might like that. That's cool. Joker, you can skip that.
Here's my thing. I look at performance now, because as a whole, X-Men Apocalypse was trash. You feel me? Suicide Squad wasn't that great. On the Giants, like, it wasn't that great. But sometimes, but you looking at a performance, right? As a whole, movie was trash, but you're looking at a performance. For me, X-Men Apocalypse was trash, but I can see that Oscar Isaac was actually the better actor of everyone in that film. Everyone in that film, he really tried. To me, it's like McAvoy, and then it's like him, and he did a good. But the character itself as Apocalypse didn't do nothing.
And then, not to go on tangent, but like, I don't like in films, and a lot of films, especially superhero ones, have this issue where they try to make a character in their introduction look so powerful, and then they don't come back to that. in his like intro, like his second scene, he kills like those 3 dudes by just taking sand off the wall and decapitating them. Badass. You could have did that with like Xavier. Like,
but they made him so OP though. It was like he had nowhere to go but down.
That's what, like you made him so cool. It's like, okay, why didn't you do that again? Like even not even saying, oh, that's a plot hole. Like you showed me he can do this that easily.
He didn't want to kill Xavier. He wanted Xavier's
why does
body.
why does he need 4 horsemen when he can just do that shit? Like you can easily just do.
Because he's a villain.
You could just take all of Egypt and just kill
But here's the thing though, why did Thanos need his squad? Like he was just as powerful.
When all honesty, his squad was more powerful than he was.
Without him.
Without the stones, his squad is more powerful than he is.
He could have literally went in and grabbed this. Infinity War showed you he could have grabbed the stones from anybody whenever he wanted to.
He was a strategist because I think.
So why isn't Apocalypse the same thing then?
I've heard some videos say this. Thanos was more of a strategist to where Thanos knew had he made a direct play for the stones, Odin would have found out and Odin would have been on his ass and he could not have beaten Odin.
Odin was dead.
Odin was dead.
But it's not until that he makes a direct play because then he goes after Xandar because had Odin been alive, Odin saw that shit. And
but Odin died and he could have went and got all the stones by himself. He didn't need to put.
That's
I'm
what
just saying though.
Think about it. In
but
the movie, Odin dies. Then he goes directly.
But he still did. He's waited this long. He didn't have to send anybody. He could have waited till Odin died and then went and got every stone by himself. He didn't need nobody else.
You can't waiting for Odin to die is like waiting for Queen Elizabeth to die. Like they just
in the MCU ain't take that long. He waited.
Hold on. He kind of has a point because technically, if Thanos had went to go get the Tesseract off of Asgard, at that moment Hela was on there and Hela could have killed Thor. So technically, Hela would have killed Thanos and the movie would never have happened. No,
but I'm not saying that the moment that Odin took his last breath, Thanos was just there like, wow, Tesseract.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
He waited his appropriate time to do what he did. Okay, so he did send someone to go get this and he went to get that. After Odin was dead and he had the Tesseract, he had the space though. He could have went anywhere he wanted by himself and took it without his squad.
He could have took it, but he can't hold it.
Because he takes Loki and then tries to use him to invade her. So if something happens, that's on Loki's. That's like, that's your bad kid. You know.
Listen, but I'm talking about after he died. You said that he wasn't going to make a move. If Odin was alive, I understand that. And that makes perfect sense because he knew Odin would probably like send forces, all that kind of stuff. After Odin died, he already had the glove. We saw it in the after credits.
Yeah, that was his move.
After Odin died, he could have went by himself to collect every stone without his squad. So it doesn't make sense. Like, so if Thanos has his crew, Apocalypse could have his crew too. Every villain has a crew that he sends out to do to do his bidding, so he can do the less possible work. But just like you said, Apocalypse could have just did this by himself. Thanos could have did it by himself as well. After Odin died.
I agree with you, Lab. I'm trying to
You're trying not to, because you're such a dude, and you want me to be wrong.
No, not that. Not that. I'm trying to make sure there are no plot holes in it. Like,
it's not. Why are you mansplaining my explanation?
I'm just trying to think like.
I don't need you to find no holes in my theories.
On that note, we'll just wrap it up. So, La, where can people find you on your social media?
All social media: TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. IG.
Twitter.
Twitter is with an AH.
With an A.
Yeah, it's with an AH at the end. Or that at Black Girl a Marvel. Oh, YouTube is as well. I don't think I say YouTube. I always try to hit them on. I always forget one. Like it never fails. It's like I'm Mark and I'm stuttering. Anyway, yeah, everywhere. Black Girl Marvel.
Lucia, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Instagram and I don't know, probably Facebook and Twitter and all the other places at Is She Black or Asian? Asian is AZN.
And their podcast that Line together.
And our podcast, me and La.
Oh yeah, we got a podcast. It's called A Full Cup. First episode is up. Second episode is coming in a day or two. Full Cup with Lou and La. That's what it's called. Watch it. YouTube, Facebook, IG. Hell yeah.
JayTezla, where can everyone find you?
You can find me dying on the floor. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. At JayTezla.
That's a backup. That's a backup title right there.
Yeah, you can find me dying on the floor.
Find me on the floor.
Life alert. I fall and I can't get up. That shit's always funny to me. I shouldn't be laughing at old people doing that, but that shit's still so funny. I fall and I can't get up.
Like that was wrong, but I used to laugh at that. Oh, I'm falling and I can't get up. Like,
oh, like those black and white ones with like the old white hair ladies just on the floor.
Yeah,
Like,
when it turns black and white, like, dude.
Yo, real talk though, I wonder as an actress, how much was them residual checks? Because she was international, baby. Like, how much did she get?
And I didn't see no pads under her too. Like, so she was taking a couple falls. Like,
she was just like these.
Ain't no stunt Mabel, stretch your arm out a little more, Mabel. There we go.
But you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at JayTezla. Music, JayTezla.bandcamp.com. On Twitch, at JayTezla, where I just did how to save the DCE universe. It's a very good video. I think you all will enjoy it. Yeah, find me on those places.
You can find our other host, Zero. You can find him on Twitter and Instagram at the Red Bearded Monster.
It's something with red in it.
I think it's Red Beard Gent, not bearded. I think it's just like
Red Beard Gent.
Yeah. Like I think it's like Red Beard Gent.
If you're following this show, you'll see his name.
It'll be in the description.
Yeah, it's Red Bearded Gent.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah.
I know I saw the ED in there.
Y'all follow somebody else then. It's cool then. Tell them what up. You know what I'm saying?
You can find me at Team Kayos on Instagram, Twitter. I don't tweet that much, so me. You can find my channel on YouTube with weekly content, and you can also find me on Facebook in the Wakinda Black Nerdcast. This page is on Facebook. Make sure you like us and follow the groups. We have a watch party coming up for the 2021 WWE Royal Rumble. We hope to see you in the comments. If you're following this on YouTube, make sure you hit that bell icon to get notifications of when we're dropping new content. Like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah.
We are the Black Nerds.
What kind of Black Nerdcast is this? Bye.